So you've got your beginning woodworking tools and now you're ready to step up your game and buy the bigger tools. We're talking miter saws, table saws, jointers, planers, and in what order should you buy those tools? And if you stick around, I'll answer that age-old question, should you buy a planer or a jointer first? So my very first large tool purchase as a woodworker was this DeWalt DW779 miter saw. I wanted to be able to make accurate angle cuts every single time, and this is the saw that I chose. This saw has been awesome for me in my workshop because I'm able to replicate angled cuts every time. When you're in woodworking, if you can replicate something over and over, that's gonna help your game go up exponentially. You can batch out projects, you can make more of the same thing over and over, exactly the same. That's key, especially when you're trying to make two 45 angles come together. You want them things to match every single time. That's where a miter saw really shines. If you're looking for a miter saw, you know there's dozens and dozens of options out there. I chose this specific saw for a couple of reasons. One, it was a sliding compound miter saw, which means it slides out. I can make wider cross cuts than a stationary saw that doesn't slide. That's why I wanted the sliding. Now there's a couple of trade-offs of that, as in accuracy, when you get all the way extended, these saws tend to have a tiny bit of flex left and right. Not a lot, but it can throw it off a tiny bit. But the benefit is you get to cut wider stock with it. The second reason I bought it, although I rarely use this feature, is it's dual bevel. So it'll actually lay over 45 degrees in both directions. This saw is pretty awesome because it has different depth stops on it, so it can only go so deep, so you can cut dados or half laps, things like that with it. The only downside to this saw that I found is that it is pretty deep as far as the footprint it takes up this way. It's not a problem in this shop, but if you have a smaller shop, smaller area, you might want to think about the Delta Cruiser or one of those type saws that have a zero clearance in the back, so you don't have to worry about the depth behind it. I've got a review on both of these, this and the Delta. I'll put it in the link in the description below if you're interested. If you ask any woodworker what the most versatile tool in their workshop is, 90%, maybe even 99% is going to tell you the table saw. You can do more stuff with the table saw than you can actually imagine. The first and the most important thing I think you need to look at when you're getting a table saw is, can the fence be squared and remain square over time? This Delta 36725 that I have here, there's a new model called the T2, 36725 T2. They're basically the same model. I think the motor's a little different. The reason I picked this saw, well, I picked the rigid first. It had a warped tabletop. So when you move the fence to the right, it bumps the table right there. You can see there's no gap right there. I took it back and I went and got the Delta. To me, this fence system is far superior. I can slide it over, I can lock it down. I know that it's gonna be square every time. This fence is square to the blade. The blade is square to the miter slot. And that makes a huge difference when you're working with wood. You need it to be square, square, square. It has to be square. If it ain't square, it ain't worth having. That's just the way it is. If you buy a cheaper table saw and you can't square that fence, or the blade can't be squared to the miter slot, you're wasted your money. You should have just saved up and got something better. Now, there are contractor saws that have square fences. Delta makes one, DeWalt makes one. I'm sure there's others out there. If you know of them, you can drop it in the comments below. I've seen a lot of woodworkers build awesome projects with the contractor style or the bench top style table saws. There's nothing wrong with those at all. So you don't think you have to spend $600, $700, or $1,000 on a table saw, because you don't. It just depends on your needs and the size space you have. One of the unique things about a table saw is the fact that you can build jigs for it and make it even more versatile. I've made this jig for jointing boards or tapering boards, or it could actually double as a high fence. I've got a whole video on this project. I'll link it in the description below. This thing is awesome because if you don't have a jointer and you need to joint boards, you can do that with a table saw very easily. So you can actually save you a little money and not have to buy a jointer straight away. Another awesome jig that you should have for your table saw, one of the first things you should build for your table saw, I didn't, but I should have, was a table saw sled. This thing is awesome. And it has the same dovetail clamp system that you saw on the jointing sled. It also has an adjustable fence that you can actually take on and off. You can use it to create your own miters. So if you don't have a miter saw, you can use this to cross-cut miters, so long as the board's not too long. And if you're getting an 8-foot board and you're trying to get a miter on it, it's going to be difficult on this table saw sled. But for smaller boards, if you're making picture frames, stuff like that, a table saw sled is going to be key to getting accurate, repeatable cuts every single time. This one also has the stop blocks on there. I'll drop a link in the description below to how you build this one. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video, click that subscribe button below, click the bell icon next to it so you get notified of all the new content. So what should you buy first, a planer or a jointer? I get that question a lot. It just depends on what you're making. If you have a table saw, you can actually get by without having a jointer in multiple ways. I've got a video on 5 ways to joint boards without a jointer. I got away with it for years without having a jointer, so I got a planer first. I wanted a planer to be able to dimension lumber down to a certain thickness. Also with a planer, you can make a planer sled that allows you to flatten boards that are twisted. So a planer you can actually do a lot with. So if I had a table saw, I would get the planer first. If I didn't have a table saw, I would get the jointer first, because you can joint those faces. This is an 8-inch jointer, so I can face joint up to an 8-inch board, meaning if it has a twist or a cup in it on the face of the board, I can take that out. I can also joint the edges of boards, so I can actually bring 2 boards together and make 2 flat surfaces against each other. That way you can make tables or cutting boards or things like that. So this is a DW735X. It is about $600 all in with the tables and everything. You don't have to go that expensive. Wynn makes a very highly rated one that I almost bought, but my dad actually got me this planer for my birthday a couple of years ago. And then this jointer will run you about $500. Again, this was a gift from Brother Riv. So it's been a very good jointer. It just makes things a lot faster and a lot easier than using the table saw, but you can get around with not having one. The drill press. I love having this drill press in the shop. It's not a mandatory upgrade tool that you need, but it makes things so easy when you have to drill the same hole every time over multiple pieces. And it's always accurate. It's always straight up and down. It's always a 90-degree. I bought this fence system with it, or table and fence system with it, so that I could make the same cut every time, especially when I was making those stove covers. And these stove cover handles, they have 2 Forstner bit holes that you had to drill in on each side and then connect the dots with a jigsaw. And so when I was batching out a bunch of those, this drill press was extremely handy. So if you're having to drill holes over and over and over, a drill press is going to be something you'd want. So another couple of things you're going to want to start looking at. Dust collection is always a big topic, and a lot of people want to know what I'm using for dust collection. Right now, I just use a shop vac and a dust extractor. So that's something you may want to consider getting dust collection. Also, a bandsaw. I would love to have a bandsaw in the shop. I would like to get one soon. For one, I think it'd be awesome to be able to resaw boards to cut them down to thinner stock. So if I get a 1-inch board and I need just a 1/4-inch piece or 1/4-inch slice off of it, or if I need just a 1/2 inch or 3/8 or whatever I need to cut to make a box or something that I don't need the full 1 inch of the board, you'll be able to resaw. So a bandsaw is so versatile because it allows you to cut curves, cut notches out of boards and different things like that. So I think it would be really, really handy to have in the shop. You know what time it is, power tip time. Having a good quality blade on your miter saw or your table saw is going to make a huge difference. It does make a big difference if you get a good blade. I have recently switched to CMT blades. I really like them. I bought one and put it on the miter saw. I also have one on the table saw now. These blades are fantastic blades. They're super sharp. They cut a nice clean line. I really like the CMT blade. If you want to check out CMT blades, I'll drop a link in the description below to taytools.com. If you use code 731CMT10, that'll save you 10% on all CMT products there. If you don't have any tools yet, there's a video right there that tells you 6 essential tools I think every woodworker needs. And if you're looking for deals on tools, there's a video right there that takes you to where I think you can get the best deals on tools anywhere.